Hello and welcome to the next episode in series. Now we will start working on user authentication. So it would be login, logout, and registration. You could, of course, build everything yourself from the ground, but in this case we will be using FOSUserBundle, which provides all those actions for you. If you can check out the documentation, which contains all the steps you need to install it and configure it, so we can actually just follow them and to add authentication to our application. The bundle depends on translation, so first you will want to enable them. Just uncomment the translator option. Now we will need to download it using Composer. So Composer require friends of Symfony user bundle version 2.0 это dev. Now we need to enable a bundle and configure it. So add it to our kernel. And now we need to make our user class, which depends on what storage layer is being used for keeping it. So we will be using doctrine, and we just need to create our user entity. Our namespaces doesn't work, so we need to mark this directory as sources root. So now it should be fine. Yeah, my namespaces are fine. Okay, I don't really like what it added so much white space in here, so let's remove, update the code templates. Okay, so now we can just generate an ORM class. It adds all the mapping, change the table name to users, and now we need to extend the class provided by FOSUserBundle. So extends base user. As you can see, we have a highlight on base user as it can find it. So, and it's just an alias for user class. So just add user but I don't want really to have this full namespace, so we can just import it as base user. Now everything is fine. As you can see, the class which is extended adds some methods and variables like username, email, and it all has mapping for everything you would need. So what we need to add to our main class is an ID field, and we need to call the constructor of our class we extend. We can also generate all annotations for for ID. Let's continue with the next step, which would be configuring our security configuration. So open config security, and we need to set an encoder. I want indentation of for YAML code style indentation for characters. Let's put the encoders. Okay, we don't get auto completion, so I guess we would need to put it ourselves. I don't think we need role hierarchy, and for providers we would use the FOSUserBundle. Now for firewalls, let's... Oh, come on. And for access control, we don't need all of them, so we just add login and register paths. And now add routing for the controllers. this actually won't work because our database isn't correct, and it looks like security file is invalid. So let's see what is wrong with that. Okay, let's check it out. Security. Okay, I would guess what this isn't right, and it should be quoted. Let's see if that fixes it. Nope. Line 26. Line 26 is this one. Now it's still something not right with access control, and oh shit, it's underscore. So okay. That should fix it. Yeah, right. Now we are having problems with our database, so let's go to parameters, YAML, and normal parameters. So our database name should be homestead, and user homestead, and password is secret. So let's see. And this fixes it. So let's try out if our application works. So let's do login. Of course, we are not allowing users who are not on localhost. Let's dev and remove this section. It's actually fine because when we are deploying on production, the way I see it, this file should actually just be removed before the application becomes available for public. So it's fine to remove this check. And yes, we have a login page. So username, password, whatever. You should get an error. Yeah, that's fine. You can also check what our registration form works. So let's fill it in. Come on. Submit it, and yep, we are logged in. Let's check the database. So we can create a new connection. Socrat hostname is Socrat dev. Homestead secret, homestead, test the connection. Yep, everything works. Connect, and we have our user. Okay, that looks like we have our authentication. There is quite a lot we could do from now, but actually I think I just gonna commit all the changes and finish with the rest in different commits. So let's add everything to our repository. And yeah, I personally found that when working alone, just wanted to be quick, not using any like Git flows or similar development things. Makes it easier to work, because if you are working alone, not just doing a quick project, trying to follow all the rules actually just gets in the way. But if you add another person who is working on the same code base, or you finally push your application to production and want to add a CI service for additional security to make sure your code works, when you should start using branches and using peers for committing your code. But as we still will be trying to work on this authentication, and there will be some more commits, so we will do a branch for it all. So go, let's name it user authentication, and let's see what we will be adding. So okay, this looks correct. This also looks fine. Our configuration is fine, routing is fine, this is fine. Yep, that looks good. And yes, this one is fine. It's your choice if you want to use a user interface for Git. I personally found that I like using it for making sure what was changed and what everything is all right. Otherwise, I just use the terminal for the rest of it. User can register and authenticate. That would be a good message for a commit. So you might also want to try to, in your commit messages, describe what was done and like why it was done. So for example, by reading history of a repository, you could know what happened and what was the changes without needing to go into looking at the code. So with this commit, you can guess what changes were made, so what you would be able to register and authenticate. Because if you added like your commit message was either the FOSUserBundle and you're not sure what that bundle does, you would have to check the code to see what is that change. And let's just push it to the repository and push that's if I remember correctly, user authentication. We should push our branch to repository. Let's see. Yep, that's it. Okay, that's it for this episode where we added FOSUserBundle to be able to register and authenticate. So See you in the next episode.